Sometimes in use these old cabinet hinges break, such as the case with this one, or in normal use, as the door is being slammed or open and closed all the time, the doors become misaligned, such as the case with this door here. You can see a nice and healthy gap up top, and you can see that the cabinet doors here are binding. They are pushing against each other, and eventually this will destroy the laminated edge somewhere here and will make it ugly, so that the whole door needs replacement. So in this video I'll show you what to do with these hinges, how you can replace one, and how you set it so that the doors open normally and they don't interfere with each other. Let's start with the parts of this hinge here. This is the hinge part, and it mounts on a base plate. This is the base plate. The base plate is mounted on the cabinet's gable right around here with 2 screws. Sorry, this is all the light I have, so there's the 2 mounting screws. This 3rd screw that you're seeing is for mounting the hinge. I'll show you. This is how the parts interact. The hinge here has a special bolt here. This one that has a narrower midsection right around in front of my finger there. That narrower midsection on this hinge bolt needs to go through this slot here on the base plate. I hope that makes sense. So how they interact is this. So if you have a cabinet door that's loose and it's coming off the hinge or whatever, you have to put it together in a way making sure that the head of this bolt is on the underside of this base plate, because it's on the cabinet gable there, so you don't see it. So you have to make sure that they don't come apart at this point here, such as this would be a bad case. Okay, so this is not working ever. Okay, replacing the hinge is very straightforward. You don't have to take off the base plate. You just need to remove usually these 2 screws, such as the case with this cabinet here with a Robertson #1, and take off the hinge. That's how it looks like. This goes into a round, typically 32mm round hole like so, but not all hinges look like that. Some of them look like this. They don't seem to have a mounting or holes in them, but they have this kind of cam action on them, and then from here on the hinge just comes out. I really don't want to pull it out because my other hand is holding the camera. So this is how the hinge mounts into that one, and this one just mounts with 2 screws. Okay, I hope it's fairly straightforward. Now for adjusting this, you have 2 options here. This screw here is important in moving the cabinet door this way there. I hope this makes sense. That alignment is important if the cabinet door, such as here, is sticking out too much in this direction. Okay, hope this misalignment here makes sense. So if you loosen this bolt here, you can move this cabinet door that way to make sure that the doors here are nice and flush. Okay, I hope that makes sense. And the second adjustment is done with this fancy bolt, and it needs a Phillips #2 screwdriver. Let's see, all hand tools. Where did I put my screwdriver? Well, I don't have one, but you know, hand tools. Okay, absolutely no power tools for this one, because you're gonna strip the screw and that's gonna be problematic to replace. So what this one does is that it moves the door in this direction here, in the direction of the bolt. Okay, so this bolt can be spun and it gets buried into the hinge a little more, or sticks out a little more, and as it does, it moves the door in the direction of the bolt this way. So the first one moved the hinge this way, the second bolt moves it 90 degrees to it. What that means is that if the doors are binding, such as here, then if you move this bolt here, find the screwdriver, then I hope you can see this well enough. If I do just about this much movement on it, I'm going back and forth, spinning one way and the other way. You can see the cabinet hinge this way coming towards the screwdriver, this way going away from the screwdriver. So you're getting closer to the screwdriver, going away from the screwdriver. So going away that way, that means it's binding more. So if I want to get rid of that gap or that bind, cabinet door needs to come towards the screwdriver, which is, let's see, there, this direction. Let's see what we did. There, now we have a gap. Is that too much of a gap? I don't know, the doors are not binding. There, they're nice. And I really need two hands to adjust the top, because I need to hold the weight of the door while I loosen the screw and move it in. Move the hinge and the door forward this much, I don't know, 3 millimeters, whatever, just eyeball it. It's gonna be something, and then take a look at it again. So that's what's involved, those two adjustment screws and what's around them, and the mounting screws. It's not rocket science, and you don't have to damage your own cabinet doors just because the initial adjustment or alignment gets banged out of its position. It's really easy to adjust.